Welcome back, House of Five family. I am one of your hosts, Wendy, and across the table from me is my husband, Curtis. Hey, babe.
Hey, how's it going today?
I'm good. How are you? You've been like super duper busy.
Yeah, between tutoring and school, and now tonight we have open house, so I'm getting ready to miss football practice.
Oh, how's the team looking?
We're looking all right.
Yeah?
We're shaping up. I mean, we got about 2.5 weeks until we do our first original or first game.
Awesome. 2 weeks?
Yes.
That's going to be fun. So we'll be watching Michael play football at Southwestern College, and that'll be on Saturdays. And then Friday nights, we will have the high school games at the high school with Curtis. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
This is football season. This is the season where I become a football widow, and we barely see Kurt. But it's fun. We've been doing this for a long time. That's kind of part of what we do, right, babe?
Yeah, it's our habit.
Well, we just had an awesome 1-year anniversary show on Wednesday with Alan and Katie Donegan. Man, I really, really like those two.
Yeah, there was awesome conversation the whole time.
Well, they're just such cool people. You know, we didn't get to hear all of the cool things they've done, but they're just really amazing, giving and caring people. And you know, Katie's done some really cool things. Like she has a Guinness Book of World Records for the highest altitude soccer game.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that
cool.
it? Yeah. Yeah. And Alan, at one point in his life, has done stand-up comedy. So, which is not surprising because he's hilarious.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. So if you haven't heard Wednesday's show, I'd definitely go back and listen to that. But on today's show, we promised to get into the numbers from the sale of our house and what it is helping us accomplish.
Yeah, we're updating you on our next chapter in our life.
Right, exactly. So let me just backtrack a little bit. We found the FI community about 2 years ago in May of 2017. And we didn't immediately start making some changes. I started tracking the changes in July of 2017. And we just started making cuts. We started making cuts every single where we could in our budget. And the goal was twofold, well, maybe threefold. It was to cut our expenses, you know, pay off debt, but also to save more, to increase our savings rate. And at the same time, the goal was to retire my law practice and get out of the practice of law. And so being the breadwinner, that was a challenge because we're talking, you know, over $10,000 a month in income that was no longer going to be there. If we wanted to reach all three of those goals, where was it going to come from? Mm-hmm. And it came from our budget and our spending.
We cut back a lot.
A lot. In the beginning, the first things we started cutting were, you know, easy things, our discretionary spending, things like our food budget, our cable, our, you know, going out, that sort of stuff. But then we also asked the question of every single bill that was coming through our bank account, can I cut this or can I eliminate it? And we did that basically line item by item, and cutting things. And so I've been tracking our cuts, and in the total 2 years before we sold the house, we had cut about a little over $6,000 out of our budget. So up until we sold the house, that's how good we had done. And
yes.
I mean, even that's pretty incredible. So by doing that and kind of pulling back on our savings just a little bit, I was able to walk away from my practice in October, which was huge. And I think it has made a huge difference in our family. You know, our kids need us. 2 of our boys have special needs, and there's doctor's appointments and there's school appointments and all of that. So me being able to be home allows me to just be there more for the kids, and that's a huge benefit for them.
Also, we just failed to mention that with those cuts, we just found a lot of creative ways to still have fun.
Oh, yeah.
Like we talked about our movie in the driveway. Yeah. And then we do always treat the kids and make sure we're going out as a family once a week and doing something with each other to make sure that we still have our connection and they're not falling behind on.
We're not living miserly.
No.
All right. So and we've talked about our story in other episodes, and I'll link those episodes in the show notes. But that's just a brief overview to get you up to speed kind of to where we were. But we went to the Chautauqua last year in October of 2018, and we were really, after speaking with Jael Collins, after listening to Christine Bryce, she's a firecracker, and I forget his name, but they just wrote a book, Quit Like a Millionaire. So they were there, and Brad and Jonathan from Choose Fi were there as well. But just speaking to all of these people who were in the community and had been in it for a lot longer than us, we just really solidified what our goals were. And if we were going to meet our goals, we still needed to make more cuts.
Yes.
And so we talked to Jim about it. And the one thing that we had, we didn't have anything else, but we had our house. Right.
Yeah.
And that was it. That was really the only asset we had, was our house. And when I say asset, I know that there's debate back and forth about if a house is an asset, but we had enough equity in it that if we were able to get the equity out, that we could make some really big moves. And so we struggled with that decision. And then we kind of just didn't do anything. Yeah. We didn't do anything for a while because I think that was hard. We loved our house.
Yeah.
We loved it. We put a lot of our heart and soul into that house and made it a dream house.
Yeah. I mean, basically we did a live and flip.
Yeah.
And that was our first real estate. Well, not our first, but one of our real estate adventures that we've done.
Right. But we didn't go in it intending that.
No, this is an awesome house.
We definitely didn't intend going in to sell it after 2 years. I think we had intended to stay there a lot longer. But anyways, so we decided to list the house in April because after we ran the numbers, after we looked at what we could do, what additional cuts would come by selling the house, it just made the most sense for our long-term goals for our family. So we put the house up, it sold in 6 days, and it sold for asking. And I took a risk when I listed it and listed it at about $10,000 over because I thought that we would hopefully have an offer, but we'd get negotiated down. Well, we ended up actually getting that.
Yeah.
So
6 days.
Yeah, in 6 days. And so, we got a little extra bonus with that too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so
let's get into these numbers.
So what did we do? What did we pay off? We paid off 2 cars. We paid off, so we own our cars now, which is awesome.
Yes, it is.
Then we paid off all of our credit cards. So we're consumer debt free. We do not have any consumer debt. All that is left is our student loans. And those are pretty hefty, but that's it. We can focus on those. So we paid off all that debt. We bought a couple things for the rental house that we're going to be living in. And the rest of it we put in the savings account because we are going to be investing in out-of-state rental properties.
Yes.
And
coming soon.
We're going to start looking next week. We're meeting with a mentor, and so we will be keeping you guys updated on that, and you can follow us along on that part of our journey. So the goal going forward is to now increase our income through passive income, through real estate investing, as well as me to continue my real estate business. In addition, the big number is that by paying off the debt, by renting instead of having a mortgage, we saved another $1,100 out of our budget because the rent is cheaper, almost $800 cheaper than our mortgage. We're not paying an HOA, and this home has solar and a whole house fan.
And that is a big bonus.
Huge, because that saves us another $260 a month. So the reduced rent, the rent being lower than the mortgage, the no HOA, and the energy bill, all that together is another $1,100. So when I add in the totals for the cars, the credit cards, and the lower housing expenses, the total that we save just by the sale of the house in our monthly budget is $2,800.
Yeah.
So the $2,800 added with the little over $6,600 equals $10,000 a month in 2 years that we have cut out of our budget.
10,000.
$10,000.
We were spending that much.
We were spending that much.
What was you buying?
I have no idea. We have nothing to show for it. But we were high income earners. I say that. I was a lawyer, so we were earning high incomes. But I don't think that we were unlike a lot of Americans in that we spent everything we had.
Yeah.
And we spent it on crap. Crap. Honestly, I bet we ate most of it.
Yeah. I mean, with all these kids.
I bet, and just doing things, going to Magic Mountain whenever we wanted, and that sort of thing.
But it was family time. I mean, a lot of the things that we did.
I love that, but at the same time, like to spend $10,000 to have cut our budget by $10,000 a month. People live on less than that.
Yes, they do.
People live on less than that, and we acknowledge that, and we absolutely acknowledge that we're coming from a place of privilege. But we also know that there are other people out there who are in the same situation as us, and maybe it's on a smaller scale. So we're not saying, oh, poor us or anything like that. Absolutely not. We understand the burden of debt, and we want you all to understand that we know what it feels like. And what these cuts have been able to do is to benefit our family, allowed us to increase our savings rate, and be consumer debt free, which is pretty cool. And we want that for you too.
Yeah, and it taught us a good lesson about understanding that let the money work for us.
Exactly.
Instead of spending it.
Yeah. So next phases are the real estate investing, increasing my income. And from there, we're just going to keep increasing our savings rate every chance we get. Kurt is getting a raise soon, and so we're going to be putting that all into his 403B.
Yeah, we're going to try to max that out as soon as possible. I'm not getting younger. And you can see these gray hairs, and the kids tell me about it every day. Yeah. You're getting whiter and whiter hairs.
Well, and so if you are in that situation where you have, maybe you're struggling with some debt, or you just need to get things in order, we have a ton of resources for you. You can join our 7-Step Money Foundations course. We have our workbook, Shut Up and Budget, as well as our Etsy store. We've got some printables where it also has a workbook and some debt trackers, as well as savings trackers. So we have all these tools available to you so that you can make some progress. And, if you just want some moral support, come join us on our Facebook page.
Group. Yes.
Yeah.
Get connected.
I'll put all those links in the show notes, you guys. This was our first attempt at a video, and we hope you enjoy it. We're going to be playing around with the set, and
it might be different the next time you see us.
Right.
We're going to be painting.
Right.
So I don't know if you can tell that these are like, teal?
Yeah, right now we're in what was formerly a little girl's room, and I've got like moon stickers on the ceiling. So, all right, everyone. Well, you want to say it?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Thank you for listening.
We're glad you were here.